Damn, she did it again. Raylan grumbled, trying to stand up. My head is going to explode, Cesar said, scrubbing his temples. Don't bother, you'll recover in a minute, Raylan grumbled. I looked at them astonished. I had just passed through the same experience and nobody could tell it. But they were defeated, wasted. However, when I turned round to see where we were, I felt staggered. I almost fainted. Hey, be careful! Roylan shouted, getting up with agility. Do you think I got it? I asked, recovering the balance. It was the most likely. All around we couldn't see any light but some star. We'd better be careful if you got it. The risk is extreme, Royland dramatized. Cesar stared at us from the ground, checking his suit hadn't suffered much during the change of location. I can't understand you are standing there. My head is going to explode, he said, still on the ground. Cesar, this is not a good time. I told him off like a mother would do with a bad boy. He got up with no more excuses, came closer and tried to see in the dark. Where are we? He asked, not seeing anything. If I did it well, we are at the city outskirts. And if we are at the outskirts, we'd better count on the Yellow Watch patrols. I talked like an expert. Where are we going now? Freeland asked. Wherever Cesar wants to. At the end, he was the one that wanted to come. I kept acting like an expert. Freeland's eyebrow took out all the sarcasm he could put in a comment. But I had no intention of backing off. If that was the only way Cesar could be able to believe me, I had them. The mayor gave me a duplex apartment at the city center, next to the museum, Cesar said. I felt a sharp pain in my heart. It's not big, but he said it's in a very distinguished area. Cesar kept on talking. For the few times I walked around, I didn't appreciate so much distinction, but if he says so, I was going as white as a sheet. Are you okay? Raylan asked. Do you feel fine? I'm fine. Let's go. I answered, not paying too much attention. I thought to myself if the building where the mayor had given the duplex to Cesar was the same where my grandpa had his workshop. I thought to myself if Cesar and I had more in common than his first suit. I thought to myself if I was seeing the father I hadn't met, and the tears came out without permission. Rilan looked at me, wanting to ask again if there was something wrong with me. Where is the museum? Rilan asked in low voice, half wanting to deflect the attention, half intrigued. It's the Superbargains building in the very city center, I answered. The one that is just a few meters far from the yellow government seat? Rilan went hysteric. Haven't you been run out of oxygen and become stupid? Cesar stopped walking and looked at him surprised. He wasn't used to see him that crazy. He had met the quiet Froilan. The idea of going where he wants to convince him seems to me sort of crazy. But this, Froilan was getting upset. Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt this lover's argument, but does the yellow watch take its name from the color? Yes, Raylan answered in an unfriendly way without looking at him. And do they drive yellow cars? Cesar kept on with the interrogation. Everything is yellow at the city, everything, from the buildings to the underwear. I answered in an unfriendly way without looking at him. Oh, well, then maybe that isn't a yellow war patrol. Cesar said with sarcasm enough to make us realize the danger was approaching. Freilang and I looked at each other at the time and pushed Cesar down. We hid behind the first pile of rocks we found. Cesar looked at us skeptic. He didn't see the danger in an old car that passed by, slowly innocent, as if we were making a cheap scene to convince him our paranoia was real, as if we were giving false clues to take out of him something so dreadful it couldn't be imagined. Freilang looked at his watch to control when we could go out and when the following patrol was going to come. Come on, Freilang said, grabbing Cesar. We have 15 minutes until the next one. Not many if we walk to them, I corrected. But we are not walking to them. We are going to a safe place. Freilang dropped, gritting his teeth. No, we are going to his duplex, I said quietly. Cesar walked, seeing us staging a false argument. Freilang had gone back to the same hysterics when he was mad at me. Do you know which the building is? Cesar asked. Sure, I live there. I mean, I have lived there all my life, I answered.